Hey everyone, this is producer Maxwell speaking. Due to the topic of today's episode, I felt like I needed to step in and say that viewer discretion is advised. Please do not listen to this episode if there are children in the room. Thank you.
From day one, you fought for your life, and you blew everyone away.
Hi, welcome back to the show. I'm Jesse,
I'm Alisha.
and we are changing the chances.
Welcome, welcome.
So, we're going to have a kind of a serious subject today that we're going to touch base on.
As the producer passes out because he's so mad. First of all, I mean, and I'm not trying to cut you off, but you're right. Serious it is very touchy. And please, this is no children. 100%. Like, Katrina, yes, I'm talking to you. I'm calling you out. You cannot play this in the car with your daughter.
Yeah,
It's adult only.
I would recommend it to just be adult only. That being said, with the tragedies in the country that have just happened, the shooting down in Texas, and I believe there was another one in another state, we thought that we could just kind of touch base on it as parents, and just the fact that we as society, as parents, as people, we just got to do better.
Well, can I just say something real fast before we get into it?
Yeah. Because Piper's already got an opinion.
I know, because Piper always has an opinion because that's who she is, which I do love her having an opinion. So like you said, we are kind of just touching base with the tragedies that have unfortunately been going on lately. And this isn't the first one, but
Unfortunately, it's not. And
there was, if somebody happens across this episode, that it's terrible and it's heartbreaking.
our hearts are with all the families that lost loved ones to these tragedies, because it's,
Like we just can't imagine.
as a parent,
Yes.
it's just heart-wrenching. We shouldn't have to worry about sending our kids to school, and our kids shouldn't be afraid to go to school.
Agreed.
I mean, we're crippling ourselves as a nation, and we've been doing it for so long. And I mean, I'm not going to try and get political or anything about this or whatnot.
No, this is,
But
we are not going there. We are not going there.
It's just so sad, I mean, because it's not just the guns. The guns aren't going to do anything. It's the people in control of these guns that have them and go and do these things because, maybe they've been bullied or whatever the case may be, but they feel like this is what they need to do and go and cause all this chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, I'm sure, are probably just not well mentally. And some of them, I think, are maybe just in a really dark place. And
Which is sad.
which is also just as heartbreaking, because it's like, what events led up to that?
Yeah.
Was this kid bullied? Did he have a horrible family life at home? Was he abused or something? We just got to do better as a country. I mean, we're crippling ourselves, in my opinion. Our kids don't want to go to school. Parents don't want to send their kids to school. It's terrifying.
It's very terrifying for everybody. I personally have friends who kept their kids home the next day just because the fear is overwhelming.
It is. And it's, again, crippling us as a nation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I think that, and I, again, never mean anything with ill intention or anything, but
no, that's not what this episode has.
But no, I was just thinking so if you think back to 2020 or a little bit past that, and there was a publicly announced, something that was made public. Like a teacher was joking that parents are just upset because they want their babysitters back. I listened to the whole idea, and I understand that because I understand like the whole joke and the precedence
No,
behind that.
yeah, but
But I just want to say, like, when you think about stuff like this, yes, for working parents, school is a big deal because their kids need somewhere safe to go.
well, yeah, when you get up in the morning and you send your kids off to school and you're at work, you're assuming that your child is safe. You
are.
And you're assuming and hoping that they're just going to go through and have a typical day and do their thing at school and whatever. But, it's not the case anymore.
Unfortunately, it is not. And then it's not anything against teachers. I know that teachers they are amazing.
And it was probably
beings.
maybe a little inappropriate.
Again, it was
maybe
a
not
joke.
so much inappropriate,
It was like,
but maybe bad timing.
I know it was a joke. I totally get that.
Yeah.
It's not upset about it. I'm not upset about anything other than, yes, some people do rely on school for a place for their kids to go so they can work. So it's not just about like a babysitter. It is about trust. We are trusting other people
to protect and take care of our kids.
Yeah. And I don't blame anybody for anybody that's in a situation that's awful and think, because that's not.
Well, it's just as bad for the teachers.
It is.
Because, they do feel responsible for these kids. And unfortunately, the teachers and the students are like just fish in a barrel when these assailants come in and just start shooting because, there's nothing these teachers can do other than lock a door and have the kids hide. Yeah. And that's, kind of what brings me to what I wanted to touch base on is.
What we wanted to touch base on.
Yeah. Because I'm sure with a lot of parents that have children with special needs that are in school, I'm sure this is a very big fear for them as well. Piper is wheelchair bound. So if she's at school and someone comes in and starts shooting the place up and everybody starts running and screaming, she's relying on someone else to get her out of there because she can't do it herself. She can't duck for cover. She can't run and hide. If she's in her wheelchair and, someone, heaven hope, someone takes her with them, if not, she's sitting in the middle of a classroom, an open target, because she's not going to understand what's going on. Hell, she might even start laughing because she's probably not going to understand it. Everybody's screaming,
and that's a big thing about
everybody trying to be quiet and stuff. And
she has no concept. Case in point,
everybody trying to be quiet, and she's over here thinking, "Hey, this is great."
She has no concept of fear. She has no concept of danger.
And unfortunately, these teachers have 30 other kids that they're trying to protect and that they're trying to get to safety, and unfortunately, most able-bodied kids can take direction and you can tell them, we're all going to go here and we're going to hunker down and, we need to just be quiet. Piper's not going to understand that.
Nope.
And it's so terrifying, because you hope, that she's going to school and that she's going to have a great day and play with her friends and learn stuff and just have a great day. But now with the way things are going, there's this fear, this stifling fear that it's like somebody could be upset for whatever reason and decide to shoot up this elementary school because,
I think doesn't matter the circumstance. It's all terrible. It's not winning. Everything is
no,
awful.
None of it is.
But it almost baffles me. Like at elementary school. And this isn't the first time.
No, it's not. But the only thing I can think of is that there's no resistance. There's signs all over these elementary schools. Gun-free zone, drug-free zones, stuff like that. So to me, that's just a big giant beacon that says you have no resistance. No one here is equipped to stop you. And it's, no one there should need to be equipped to stop an assailant, and it's horrible that we have to now think of ways to like protect our kids. And what's sad is, essentially we're going to have to make it like a prison with electronic key badges in and out, like, and locked down as soon as school starts, like lock it down. You don't get in or out. Like, that's just how it is.
Yeah. But unfortunately, that doesn't also mean anything.
No, it doesn't, because, that's going to cost money.
Well, it's not even that. It's that, if somebody wants it, they're going to find a way in.
Exactly.
And I know it's just life. You cannot control everything.
No.
And you just have to hope.
But
it's terrifying for everybody. It's not, if you're a parent, you're terrified and you're scared.
Oh, regardless if your child is typical or not. But I mean, I'm sure with other
different
parents,
feelings.
Yep. I'm sure with other parents that have special needs children, I feel like maybe there are other feelings.
There's just different fears.
Because,
again, like you said,
if you have a deaf child that can't hear gunshots, like you're hoping that the teacher or the aide or whoever is going to be calm enough to sign to this child what's going on.
Yeah. Or somebody's there that can.
Or someone.
Or whatever the case may be. Or, it's just scary.
Or, to think kids that are autistic, that, things like that get them riled up. Because all that chaos, it's too much stimulation. It freaks them out. And, it's
just scary when you think about your own kids. And everybody
really
does.
is.
Everybody does. When something like this happens. And of course
it
you do.
shouldn't take something like this, though.
It shouldn't.
It's been years and years now. We've been hearing about all these school shootings and, mall shootings and movie theater shootings and whatnot. And
what it comes down to is we just need to find a way to be better as a society, as people, as human beings. And this is not, and I truly believe this. I don't ever think that it's one person's fault. I don't ever think it's one, like.
Well, no, that's what I was saying before. Like, what events led up to this?
Well, and it's just everything.
Was it his home life? Was he abused? Was he bullied and picked on at school?
And you're right. They could just be somebody who needed the help. They just didn't get it. And it's sad.
And maybe he did try to reach out.
But we don't know.
We don't. We will never know.
No.
But I do believe us as people, as parents, as a country, as society, we need to do better. The teachers and the students of the nation they're all just terrified right there with everybody else,
you
the
can't
parents
blame
and
them.
stuff, because it's,
you can't blame them.
No, you can't. You ask so much of these teachers already.
Yeah. You really do. Teachers have an astronomical job.
And they're the bad guys. When your kid comes home and they're failing. When I was a kid, it was my fault. And it was my fault. I didn't do my homework or, stuff like that. Nowadays, everybody wants to turn on the teacher and be like, why is my kid failing? Well, she's got 35 kids in one room that she's trying to teach. And then they're changing the curriculum. And, the teachers have a lot to deal with. And then now,
right. I think teachers
they've got to deal with this fear.
So much to deal with. Like, they just, they have to follow.
It's not cool.
They have to follow a particular curriculum. They have to. It is the law when they become teachers. And they have to somehow try and reach every kid. And nowadays, I think most teachers know, most kids don't learn all the same way. But you can't cater to 30 kids to every learning style. That's just not how that.
There's just not enough teachers. Yeah, there's just not enough teachers. Like,
it's just not how the system is set up. It's not
because
honestly,
honestly, I think there should be 2 teachers per classroom. That way, you got a teacher up there that's running the lecture, and you've got another teacher that can, if in the middle of the lecture, one kid is just like not getting it, or a couple of kids are just not getting it. Cool, you can have this other teacher just pull them to the back of the class and see a different way of learning, a different point of view, a different, because not every teacher is going to teach the exact same way because they didn't learn it the exact same way. But no, it's the teachers do. They've got a lot stacked up against them, and then they got to worry about kids, losing their lives
Yeah.
on their watch.
Yeah.
You know,
And I
like
do-
no
and I do
teacher
think-
wants to have to
No.
be the one, you know, I mean, they probably wouldn't be the one. I'm sure the police department or somebody would, but
to live through that.
to live through that and know that, you know, one or more of
No.
your students on your time
Yeah.
while they
No.
were under your care, like I can only imagine how crushing that would be for a teacher. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm never walking into another
Yeah.
school again.
Like,
But
it's a lot.
we got to be better. We got to do
I just
better.
think that's what it comes down to. It's just
Yeah.
as society and as people.
Be humble. Be kind. You know what? I don't think it's too much to you know, just try and be nice. I think
You know, what you said earlier actually was you don't have to be friends with everybody.
no,
you don't have to be friends with everybody.
But you don't have to be mean.
You don't
or
have
cruel
to be
either.
outwardly mean. No,
No.
you don't.
Guess what? Someone is too tall or too fat or too short or wears glasses or whatever the case may be. Guess what? I'm sure that they're probably already pretty fucking insecure about
Right.
things themselves.
Guess what?
You don't need to chop another human being down. And that is one thing, ever since I was a little boy, that I have thoroughly believed in. And I think that's why I am such against bullies.
Yeah.
Is because no one, in my personal opinion, no one has the right to bully another human being. No one
Agreed.
should be at the mercy of another human being. We are all equal.
We're all humans.
We're all human. Exactly.
We're all
And we are the
humans.
only species on this planet that commits murder. Animals, yes, they kill, but they kill to eat. They don't kill just to take something from someone else. They don't kill just because one of their own kind, just because, well, hey, you're...
Well, yeah, but they're also not outwardly vicious to each other just
Well, exactly.
because
You know, like
It's not how animals are
They're
built.
not built that way.
No.
And yeah, we're on a different conscious level than they are, or whatever, to
Yeah.
a point. But at the same time, it's like,
also
you know
the
what?
problem with us.
We're also in our own right animals.
We are.
I mean, it's disgusting what we can do to one another
And be okay with
and be okay with it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't, and I'm sure it's probably something that the human race has wondered for millennia, but like, I just don't understand why.
How we're the dumbest smart species?
Yeah, like how
what?
we've advanced and evolved so much, but yet we're still so primitive to one another.
Mm,
Like,
it's true.
you know, oh, what, you're black, so I hate you. Oh, you're white, I hate you. It's like, why? There's no need for it.
Yeah.
And same with bullying. And and I thoroughly believe, you know, bullying comes from you're lashing out for something.
I think
One reason or
usually
another.
that's what it comes from,
And I think the people that are doing these crazy, horrendous shootings are probably just hurting in some way, shape, or form.
Mm.
And they take it out like this, and it's horrible.
Oh, it's
Absolutely horrible.
Yeah, we're not defending the actions of these people.
No, we're not.
It's just
By any means.
trying to
I'm
understand
just trying
why
to
these things are happening.
Well, me personally, I believe there's an underroot. There's an underlining root issue.
Yeah.
And whether it be from a broken home or the fact that these kids, young adults, whatever you want to call them, these psychos, there's something that is broken.
Yeah.
And we're not giving them the help as society that we should. And I'm sure it's so much harder in the grand picture of things to do, but it almost seems like we're not even trying. You know, like I work with a guy, and he was telling me, you know, we talk a lot at work, and he was telling me, he's like, you know, I was getting bullied at school, and he's like, they let the bully go to class, and they kept me in the office and asked me a million questions. Well, why is he bullying you? And it's like, the kid told me, he goes, I told him, I don't know. Why don't you ask him? You're letting him go back to class, but you're holding me. And it's like, exactly. How is the victim going to know why they're a victim? Like,
Well, and unfortunately, it's a much bigger conversation that we're not having today, but that does fall into the category of, you know, it feels like we blame victims instead of actually taking action against. And
Yeah.
again, this is
No,
that's a
we're
whole
not
different
even- that's a
conversation
whole
we're going
other-
into. That's just a side note whatever. But I just wanted to bring it up because, one, I am heartbroken for everybody.
I don't know how you can't be. Like, you have to be a cold son of a bitch to not be.
And I just wanted to, just talk, like, for our view.
Yeah. Because that's the fear that is almost crippling for me, is just because Piper is reliant
On somebody else.
on someone else, because
Completely.
while she's there, she's completely reliant. When they take her out of her wheelchair and put her in her tumble form to do other actions with, she could not be in her wheelchair. She could be on the tumble form on the floor, and that makes things even harder, because then you almost can't move her. You have to pick up another human being and try and run with this other it's absolutely terrifying.
It is. And I try not to think about it too hard because I don't want to be scared.
It's just going to drive you crazy.
It will. It will drive me absolutely crazy, but I do think about it because, again, every parent who sends their kid to school is hoping that the adults there will take care of their children. And they just can't control everything, unfortunately.
You can't. And the teachers can't protect every kid, and law enforcement can't get there fast enough. It's
just a bad situation
all around. But I think
hopefully we can.
I think if we can just try and spread a little more kindness and understanding, and that's kind of what I've been wanting to put out there with this podcast, is understanding that, special needs parents, yes, we're a little different, but we're here. Special needs people, they're just a little different, but they're here, and they just want to be understood. They just want to be accepted. And that's what I want to put out there is, I want to bring to light things. And if we can just spread a little bit more kindness and understanding, I think that would be a great step forward in the right direction.
Yep.
Because I don't know where we're going to go from here. Like, what are we going to do as a country? Or like, they're going to just be like, kids aren't going to, are you really going to start penalizing parents for not sending their kids to school because you're absolutely terrified that they're not going to come home?
Yeah. Well, let's just hope we will get our shit together.
We can only hope.
And make decisions every day to help push us that way.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I can only control what I do. So I need to make those choices. And hopefully somebody will see that. And they'll make good choices. And it will do the ripple effect. And hopefully everybody will start to make better choices.
That's all we can hope for. And that's, like I said, that's what I wanted to put out with the podcast.
And you know what? I don't need anybody else's
kindness, put out some awareness, some understanding.
I don't need anybody else's negativity. I got enough of my own, okay?
Right.
So
I am my own worst enemy.
I promise.
100%.
Anyways, we were not here to offend anybody. We were not here to make a political statement. This was not. We just wanted to talk about the fact that what happened was terrible. But it did bring to light some of our own personal feelings.
We feel
that we wanted to address that affect anybody with a kid.
We feel those fears too. Granted, Piper, she's not finishing the school year, but we plan on sending her back next year.
We do.
And
it's a whole new year of fears, but
yeah. I mean, the fear of her having a seizure at school and, something going wrong like that, whatever, that fear's there. But also the fear that something outside of the school's power, our power, someone else deciding to make bad choices could affect so many other lives.
But I can't take away happiness out of fear.
No, you can't live in fear.
Can't live in fear. So anyways, I want to keep it short because I cannot keep going on this way. And it was a very touchy subject.
We will call it good. Again, we are not promoting what was done by any of these individuals. Just the fact that there may be underlying issues. But the fact that people being just a little kinder and accepting.
I always
can
think that it
change.
can't hurt.
No,
And,
it can't.
It,
Because you never know. You just taking 5 minutes and having a conversation with somebody and acknowledging that person's existence as a human being could change them from wanting to do something like that.
you just
Your
never
kindness.
know what your kindness will do.
Yep. Your kindness could radically affect someone's life in a good, positive way. And who knows what that chain reaction can do. So
Anyways,
stay
again,
kind.
just I'm sorry to anybody who's had to live through that or go through it or be a part of it or in any way, shape, or form, because I can't imagine
Our hearts
at
are
all.
legitly broken for you guys because can't even imagine.
But
But that being said,
I will try to come up with a more upbeat
yes.
episode
Serious Sally.
next week.
Serious Sally will try to be a little more upbeat. That being said, we will talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.